Hello, and welcome to the step-by-step to create drive time areas in the new map viewer of ArcGIS Online. Drive time areas is encompassed under the spatial analysis concept. Maps are useful for identifying patterns, assess trends, and make more informed decisions. In this video, you will learn how to use some of the web analysis tools to create simple yet useful manipulations of your data to gain special significant insights that positively contribute to your analysis. So to do that, what you have to do is open your map in the new map viewer. So for that, we're going to click on the third tab. It may be that, as it happened to me, you're opening the map viewer classic, that is this wide interface and more classic lookup. What we want to do is open it in the new map viewer by clicking on this top right corner button. If you open directly into the new map viewer, that is a dark faced, more modern interface, you don't need to perform this step. Alright, so here we are. At this stage, what I want to do is to add my layers. So for this video, I prepare an example of ambulances that they are going or they are moving from hospital points in Australia, particularly in a suburb of Brisbane that it's called South Brisbane. And those ambulances are moving away from those hospital points. So we are trying to calculate those drive time areas of how long it would take an ambulance to move from one point to different points along the city. So for that, we are going to browse for layers. Here, the drop down, I click in browse for layers. And I am going to switch my filter into ArcGIS Online so I have access to more content. And I'm going to look for public hospitals. I'm going to add this first layer that popped out, Australian public hospitals. That's my analysis layer. Alright, it's taking some time, but here they are. Here we have all the different hospitals. I can't rather try to do the analysis for all the points that I have displayed at the moment, but it would be certainly very expensive in terms of credits, and it would take a long time for my computer to process this. So what I suggest at this stage is that you filter to do it with just some specific hospitals. Main interest ones are here in Brisbane, in this suburb that is called South Bank, right? And I want to filter specifically these three hospitals. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to filter by my attribute field called suburb. So what I should do now is to close this menu. I'm going to click on my layer and then click on the filter button or filter tab. Then I'm going to add a new filter that is basically the suburb, and the name of this suburb is South Brisbane. That has three hospitals, the three hospitals that we were seeing on the screen previously. And these are the three ones. So I'm going to select South Brisbane and save it. So then if I scroll back up, these are the only three hospitals that now are displayed on the screen. So now my analysis is going to be more efficient for these three, and I'm not going to consume all my credits on it. So now what we are going to do is that we are going to update the symbology. We are going to enhance this style, as I want that each hospital looks different from the other. So again, I'm going to select my layer and I'm going to click now on the second button or second tab, that is the styles tab. And I'm going to select the field, that in this case is going to be the hospital name. So in that way, I'm going to be sure that every hospital has a different symbology displayed on the screen. I'm happy with this symbology, so I'm going to click on done, and afterwards I'm going to perform my analysis. So let's click on the analysis tab or analysis button. There you go. And now we're going to click on Tools. We're going to look up in the category of Use Proximity. And afterwards, we're going to select Generate Travel Areas. Take a look that this is a different name of the tool that it was in the classic map viewer, as in the map viewer was Generate Drive Time Areas. So be careful if you're looking specifically by the name of the tool, you should write down Generate Travel Areas. So first of all parameters is asking me the input layer, that in this case is going to be my Australian public hospitals. I can add barriers if I want to. I can draw them in the map, or I can add other polygons or lines that would serve as barriers, but for this case we're not going to add any. Then the travel mode, this is one of the most important parameters of all, as we can configure or set up the different travel modes that we are going to do our analysis of. So for this example, that is the ambulances, we're going to select driving time. That is the most accurate one in terms of the type of traffic and the type of vehicle that we're going to be using. So we're going to select driving time. And now the cutoffs in minutes currently are going to be the different categories that my analysis is going to be segmented. So let's suppose it's going to have some barriers for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes as well, then for 1 hour, then an hour and a half, and then 2 hours. Let's suppose this is an emergency, so we don't want to do analysis like further up this time. Those are going to be the different thresholds or the different limits of my intervals that my presentation or my display on the map is going to be organized. And now we're going to select the travel direction that is going to be away from the input locations, away from the hospitals. That's correct. The other example can be desirable for other cases, but for this case it's away from the input locations. And now in the departure time, this is a very interesting setting, as you can set that for right now, custom date and time, or unspecified time. That is the default option. If you select custom and date time, you are also able to set not just a different day, but a different time as well, which is desirable because let's suppose that you want to do this map for the worst case, for the worst rush hour that you can imagine in Brisbane. So you can have like a more conservative scenario when you are like actually modeling your route and doing it in real life. So let's suppose that we're going to select today, that is 21st of October, and we're going to select the highest rush hour in Brisbane, that it's around 5:30 p.m. Right, everybody wants to go home after big job day, so they are going to be moving, and this is a very like important path and a very concrete zone, so for sure it's going to be with a high traffic. And the next parameters that we have is the overlap policy. In this case we're going to leave this one by default of overlap, but you can also choose dissolve and split. And at the end we are going to select the name, so it's going to be drive time area ambulances. And I'm going to save this in my root folder by default, and take a look that I got the possibility to estimate how many credits this is going to cost. So this is good to do it as well before you perform the analysis. In this case it's going to cost me around 7.5 credits, so this is totally fine, totally okay by me. If we were doing it for all the points, this number would be way bigger. So I'm going to run the analysis and just patiently wait while we obtain with the results. So just to let you know, this time it depends on the Wi-Fi or internet connections that you have at the moment, and also on the computational capacities of your machine. So around 2 to 3 minutes. If it's taking like more than 7, more than 10 minutes, like try to interrupt the performing of the tool and try to see if you configured well the parameters, if you have your layer all right, if you are performing too many points for the analysis. all of those could be reasons why your analysis is taking a little bit longer. As well, in the most recent update that we have in the Mac viewer, we can see as well the progress and the history of all the analysis tools that we are using in our session. As well, take a look that in this moment this map is not currently saved, that is untitled. So it's always good to, as soon as you perform like any analysis or any progress in your map, you save as well your results. So yeah, this is taking a while, but now it's completed. And here we have the different displays, the different analysis. I would like as well to display a bit of a legend. So here we got the more brighter areas are like the sooner times that we have. So this is all the radius for 5 minutes away from the 3 hospitals. Then we got the 10 minutes radio where they can get in 10 minutes. Then 60 minutes radio, and so on for the different categories. So another thing that it would be useful for this map is to invert the order of drawing of the layers, because currently the drive time analysis is above the Australian public hospitals. So just by inverting that name, I can give a little bit more of clarity of my map. Then of course I would like to save it so I can check my results afterwards. I'm going to save it as well in my root folder. I'm going to select map for drive time areas map. Some categories is a learning activity, and just add a summary. This for 2024, and just save it. Alright, so this was a quick tutorial on how to perform the drive time areas analysis in the new map viewer.